Warriors, rise. Bitcoin is worthless. Man, the FUD is heavy. Here's the good news, Warriors. Watch all the way till the end. I'm going to share with you what I think is going to happen. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Now, if you're ready to join the top warrior crypto mindset academy in the world, click the description down below. We're all starting our challenge on January 3rd together. Crypto mindset. Well, let's talk about crypto for just a moment. A lot of people are very confused wanting to get into crypto. So we have taken that feedback, created a Crypto Academy 2.0. What is it? How to do it, an example, over 100 how-to videos, 6 calls per week, 2 leadership calls, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, nutrition, everything you need to get your shit together in one spot. So click the description down below, take a look, see what you think. It has everything you need in the description to make an informed decision. All right, let's continue on here. Okay, so now this is very important to understand. Bitcoin is worthless. That is not my opinion, Warriors. I think Bitcoin is here to stay. I think XRP is here to stay. I think Ethereum is here to stay. And I think many of the top 100 cryptocurrencies will be here for the long term. What you need to watch out for is regulation wiping out all the bad actors. The people who are doing these ICOs, and people are making thousands and thousands of percentage of profit. This type of stuff is not going to continue, Warriors. This is eventually going to stabilize like the stock market, and you're going to see the 8% jump, 8% down, not these big 30% swings, 60% swings. So this is your opportunity to do it smart, to buy the dip, to sell the euphoria, to make more wealth than you've ever made in your life, and then become smart with that money and build a generational wealth building plan. So this is your opportunity to set yourself up for retirement and get out of that just over broke if you do it correctly, okay? So Bitcoin could become worthless. Bank of England warns. This is on December 14th. People investing in cryptocurrencies should be aware of the risk of central banks. How many times have we presented this to you, Warriors? How many times has China banned cryptocurrency? How many times has the Bank of England? How many times has America, Janet Yellen, all these people say that Bitcoin is worthless? Bitcoin is worthless. And when do they do it? They do it around these big meetings that are happening today. And just to let you know, at 11 o'clock today on our channel, Sam and I are going to be deep diving what Jerome Powell's decisions or announcements are going to do to the market today. So we're going to give you our analysis of what's happening from a market level, Warriors. But remember, this is all FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. All these types of FUD news come out when they're going to make some big decisions. This is all about slowly predictive programming you into the new financial system. That's it. This pullback is totally normal. There's nothing to freak out about. Don't trip by the dip. It's my new saying. Don't trip by the dip, Warriors. If you believe it, unless you're here to get rich quick, then sell off. Go to the casino, go to the gas station, buy a lottery ticket. We're not here to get rich quick. We're here to get wealthy for sure, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Okay, so check this out. Bank of England warns on cryptocurrency risk. This was yesterday as well. So fast-growing cryptocurrency assets could pose a danger to the established financial system, and senior Bank of England official told BBC. Although not much of UK households' wealth is currently held in assets such as Bitcoin, they are becoming more mainstream, said Deputy Bank Governor Sir John Cunliffe. If their value fell sharply, it could have a knockoff effect, he said. The bank needed to be ready to contain those risks, he added. Speaking to BBC's today's program, Sir John said that at present, about 0.1% of UK's household wealth is held in cryptocurrencies. Okay, I want to read that sentence again. I want to explain something to you so you can stop getting flooded out of the market. It says about 0.1% of UK's households' wealth is in cryptocurrencies. Do you know how thin the market is in regards to the population of people invested in cryptocurrency? So what that should tell you is that when you see these big market pullbacks, it's not like the stock market. It's not like a bunch of people, a bunch of the retail people, a bunch of the common folk are selling their stocks because they believe something's happened within the market. When there's a massive sell-off in cryptocurrency, it's because the whales have so much in cryptocurrency and the market is so thin with very few people compared to the population, is that when a whale moves the market or sells off, it creates a massive, massive drop in the cryptocurrency price. That's the reason, Warriors. So the whales right now have the dominant force to manipulate the market so they can buy back in. So what's happening right now is they're manipulating the market so they can buy back in. We'll have another parabolic move. We can pull some profits, and then we'll have a nice, healthy bear market for 3 years. And that's when we get wealthy, Warriors. I got wealthy in the bear market. That's when I accumulated like Pac-Man. I was just working to accumulate many cryptocurrencies as possible. So all this stuff you're seeing right now where they're saying Bitcoin's worthless, how many times have you heard that? Janet Yellen, all these people saying the cryptocurrency is a fraud. Jerome Powell said cryptocurrency is used for nefarious activities, all of them, but now we're going into a CBDC. Right? They changed their tone very quickly within 1 year. Watch the videos that I put out there, Warriors. All of a sudden, their tone is completely changed about cryptocurrency in regards to the blockchain, right? Bank of or Wells Fargo and HSBC just announced that they will be settling all their transactions for foreign transactions on the blockchain. Everything you do is going to operate on a blockchain. So do not be a short-term person, Warriors. Hold the line, okay? So check this out. So the Fed's meeting today could be the D-Day for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So everybody's saying that it could be the D-Day. It could be the end of crypto. They're trying to fudge you. They're trying to scare you, Wars. If there's a big dip in the market, buy the dip. Okay, so what is going to happen today? We're gonna deep dive this on 11 o'clock today. It's gonna be a shorter video because we're gonna go really deep into this at 11 o'clock today. We're gonna really talk about the effects of the market, right? So remember, we're in a low interest rate environment right now. Okay. Inflation is no longer transitory. That's a problem. That means inflation's here to stay. Okay, my gas was over $4, which is crazy for Arizona, right? My rent went up like, 15% or so, some crazy numbers. It was wild. We have a bunch of empty apartments now, which is wild. So it's crazy shit happening. So the normal everyday person is going to have to change the way they do business. They're going to have to move in with their family again. Everybody's going to have to compress. People aren't going to be able to pay their bills because of inflation, but what's looming right now is interest rates hikes. Okay. So the Fed meeting could be the D-Day for Bitcoin. That's what they mean. The more speculative assets took a beating Monday ahead of the flurry of central banks meetings as the markets begin to consider a world of tighter monetary policy. Bitcoin was included in that, falling below 47,000. More than 30% of its all-time high reached just last month. Retail favorite GameStop slumped 14% in the fall. The Reddit star AMC Holdings plunged 15%. But let's think about this for just a moment. Go to the 30,000 foot overview. Look at gold, okay? Look at silver, look at the S&P, and look at oil. Look what they did just recently in the last 18 months to 2 years. And then look what Bitcoin did. You're seeing the short-term volatility, but look what Bitcoin's done since 2008. Look what Bitcoin's done since the last 18 months. It's gone straight up. And all these other ones have been stagnant or have gone down, which is oil. Okay, so let's take a look at what Yahoo Finance says that they think is going to happen here today with the meeting.
Well, Treasury yields are edging higher as the Federal Reserve begins its two-day policy meeting. All eyes will be on the central bank's taper timeline with new data this morning pointing to increasing price pressures building. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Brian Chung, who is tracking this for us. And Brian, it's not just about the taper timeline, but the language from the Fed, especially after Jerome Powell essentially said inflation is no longer transitory.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to watch very closely the statement that we're going to get tomorrow at 2 p.m. from the Federal Reserve regarding their characterization of where the economy is. We should expect some major changes because if you'll recall, the Fed's last meeting in November, the statement described inflationary factors as being transitory. But as you mentioned, it wasn't long ago, only about 2 weeks ago, when he told Congress that they would be retiring, or at least he would be retiring, the use of the T word in describing transitory. But it's very interesting to see what's happening specifically in the bond markets with regards to the pricing expectations for what to see from the Fed tomorrow. You can see ahead of you, the 10-year yield is actually at about 145 handle right now. But what's interesting is that represents about a 20 basis point decline just over the last 2 months, during a time which the Federal Reserve was actually messaging its intention to maybe get a bit more aggressive with the pullback in monetary easing that they've had since the depths of the pandemic. Now, normally, if the Fed is saying, hey, we expect to see interest rate hikes not long from now, you might expect the longer end of the curve in the 10-year or the 30-year to start hiking a little bit. But instead, we've actually seen a decline in yields. And what's also very interesting is to see the spread between the 2-year and also the 10-year yield. Now, again, this is usually a good measurement to see where sentiment is going. If you see higher yields on longer term bonds, that means a little bit more optimism over where the economy might be in the medium or longer run. But actually, the spread between those two securities has actually narrowed over the last few weeks. You could see actually the 10-year yield and the 2-year yield have gotten a lot closer with one another, not necessarily to negative rates, which is usually a harbinger for recession, but certainly flagging a little bit of concern. So what's one interpretation? Well, one concern is that the Fed might have to get more abrupt on raising interest rates to get ahead of the curve on inflation, which could actually put the economic recovery to an end and maybe force the Fed back into an easing cycle. You can see the spread chart now ahead of you. So that's certainly one interpretation of that reading. Definitely something the Federal Reserve doesn't want as it starts to think about raising interest rates sometime next year. We'll see if the Fed can start to steepen the curve with perhaps some jawboning or maybe some language hinting at interest rate hikes in that press conference tomorrow at 2:30.
Okay, so at 2:30 today, they're going to be breaking down. Jerome Powell is going to be letting us know if they're going to hike interest rates. So we believe they are, because think about it. They went non-transitory with our inflation. That's dangerous. I mean, our prices of product, services, goods are going to be going up. So what happens? What happens when the Feds raise rates? There's a lot of different things that happen. So when the Feds raise the federal funds rate, the goal is to increase the cost of credit throughout the economy. Higher interest rates make loans more expensive for both business and consumers, and everyone ends up spending more on interest payments. Those who can't or don't want to afford the higher payments postpone projects that involve financing, that involve financing. So people back off credit. It simultaneously encourages people to save money to earn higher interest payments. This reduced supply of money in circulation, which tends to lower inflation and moderate economic activity, aka cool off the economy. Okay, so let me just break this down in layman's terms. So basically what happens is when they pump the economy with a ton of money. So here's my perception. They printed so much money in the last 18 months. It's called the Cantillon effect. Who got that money first? The richest people in the world. Who became more wealthy during the pandemic? The top 4 billionaires, okay? The richest people in the world, the multimillionaires and billionaires, became more wealthy, right? They got themselves set up with all this money printing. Now they got themselves all set up. They're building a new monetary system. They're going to make inflation non-transitory, so it's going to be really expensive, which makes the poor much poorer. Okay, then they're going to raise interest rates, and what that does is it also raises. So not only does it raise interest rates for your loans, but it raises interest rates on deposit accounts, right? So you can make more money saving money. So they want you to save your money, because when you save your money in the banks, they take your money and they lend it back out. It's just this vicious cycle, right? So who are the richest people in the world? The banks. So the more money you put into the banks, the more money they have to play with. They don't want your money outside of the bank. They don't want you in DeFi. They don't want you being your own bank. They don't want you having your own ecosystem, okay? So as they move this system, they want you right now putting your money into the bank so we don't have a modern day bank run. And often when they do this, it pulls people away from stocks and things like cryptocurrency. But I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking that people are starting to get smart eventually, knowing that they can move into cryptocurrency during this maybe short term or long term, 3 to 5 years, whatever you consider short or long term, to earn high yields on DeFi with staking. Like I'm staking some cryptocurrencies right now and earning 4, 5, 6%. It depends on the term, right? You can't get that in a bank. They know that. So they want to start raising interest rates so you become a saver once again. And then if they need to, they'll start to pump money back into the economy. So basically, Warriors, that's what you're seeing right now. It's the normal predictive programming that's been built into our minds of how the economic system works. We're starting to figure out that we have a new economic system, but it's a very small amount of people. Us in cryptocurrency and understanding economics at this level is a very small amount of people. People are worried about Watt videos. They're worried about, all the bullshit happening, Democrat, Republican. They got us trapped into a system that makes us think that the answer is outside of us. There is no answer outside of it. You are a sovereign citizen within your mind, within your heart, and within your soul. And your job is to raise your internal vibration as high as humanly possible on a daily basis. That's it. If you do that and you're good to people and you're good to the earth, you're going to be just fine, Warriors. You have nothing to worry about. So we'd love to have you part of our amazing family, one of the best families in the world, over 3,500 warriors worldwide, like-minded people working together, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, training together, doing our crypto together, and all rising together to this new quantum financial system so we can bring the money back to the people. All you need to do is go to the description of this video. You can click the link and you can explore and see what it's all about and make an informed decision if you would like to join our warrior family. As we always do, warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Let's go.